Yo, what's up? What's going down? People, it's your dog Tidy checking in here with Atlanta Bird Gang for a live stream tonight. You know, still on a winning high, you know, after going 500 and us winning our last game against the Washington Commanders. In my mind, I always be wanting to call them the Washington Redskins, which I don't know. They may get their old name back, but you know we'll worry about that as it comes. So welcome in everybody. You know, as you do come in, make sure that you do smash the like button for me. Shout out to everybody that's watching on YouTube live. We're live on YouTube. Shout out to everybody that's watching on Twitter. We're live on Twitter. Also, shout out to everybody who will watch this and it's not live. So shout out to the replay gang. Y'all make sure y'all smash that like button as you come in and watch this a little later on as well. So once again, the Falcons are 2-2, man. Good victory for us. You know, I think most of everybody was satisfied on what happened. You know, we have our bye week now, which probably coming at a good time. Give AJ Terrell some time to get back. You know, hopefully get healthy. Storm Norton, I haven't really heard much from him, so I don't know if they're gonna expect him back just yet. You know, maybe we'll get some information on that next week, possibly. Troy Anderson, not sure about him. He is eligible to come off the I don't know if I think he's on the injured reserve. I think they moved him to the injured reserve list, but no, he's eligible to come back as well. So, you know, this is an opportunity for us to get some bodies in here as we get ready to play the Buffalo Bills, which is going to be a very, very big test for the Falcons. We are currently a 5.5 point underdog at home against Buffalo. 5.5 points. So they do expect Buffalo to come to Atlanta and, you know, and win against us. Ironically, we were a 5.5 point favorite against Carolina in Carolina, and we lost that game. So we'll see how that plays out. What y'all think? You know, let me know what y'all think early on in this broadcast. Are we going? Y'all know y'all can be honest on this show. You know what I'm saying? You can be totally honest. Do you think we win against Buffalo, or do you think we're going to lose the Buffalo game against Josh Allen and his crew? That's going to be a real test for the Falcons. I think it'll be a real test in more ways than one. Buffalo, of course, right now they are undefeated. They have not lost, and they'll probably come into that game undefeated. So they could be 5-0 when we play them. This is going to be a real test for Atlanta. Not only are you playing one of the better teams in the league, you're playing possibly, arguably, and more than likely, the best quarterback in the NFL right now. The reigning regular season MVP and Josh Allen. Y'all know we have notoriously struggled badly when we have faced these top tier quarterbacks, and this is going to give it'll give this new and improved defense a real test. A real test. We will know where this defense is at, and we will know where this team is at when we play Buffalo. I'm excited about this game because it'll give us a great opportunity to know what kind of team that we have. Granted, it's still super early in the season. We're not at the halfway point yet, but the problem with the Falcons has been the consistency. We have not been able to show any kind of consistency as a team for years now. And if we can come in after beating Washington, get a win at home against Buffalo, that starts to, show some traits or some level of consistency. You come out here and if we get spanked against Buffalo, like we got spanked against Carolina, then it's the same old Falcons, up and down, up and down, up and down, And if we do come out here and beat Buffalo, not that we need it, but that will get people in the mainstream to start talk about Atlanta, and start to say, hey man, Falcons they may have something going on down there. So this is going to be a good judge for our team. This will let us know what we got. So really looking forward to this Buffalo game. So y'all let me know what y'all think. We get a win against the Buffalo Bills, or we take a loss. You can definitely be honest with me. It's gonna be a big test, man. How does Michael Penix respond? Just had a great game against Washington. Now, national game, nationally televised game. How does he respond against Buffalo? So it's a lot on the line for Atlanta, especially if we can turn these ties and go 3-2 for the season, man. That will really be a confidence boost for a very young team, very, very young team. And I'm sure that the stadium will be packed in Atlanta. It's going to be a good crowd. Again, you're going to have a top tier quarterback coming to town, and people are going to want to see that matchup. So very, very much looking forward to it. So we will see how it plays out. Very interested to see how Birds will respond. Let's jump in the comments right quick. We got MVM1978 in the building. What's going on with your MVM? I appreciate y'all always coming through, showing us love. How you doing tonight? Hope all is well. We got our dog strapped up in the house. Says I hope all is well, man. I'm doing fantastic, brother. Appreciate you coming in. We got our brother Winston in the house. What's going on with you, Winston? So smash that like button. Yes. Thank you for that also, Winston. Make sure you do smash the like button. Definitely helps us out a good deal on the channel. Also, make sure that you do subscribe to Winston and also his tag team partner, John Harris, at the Eye Test. And they will be on tomorrow at 10 p.m. So make sure that you do check them out. We got Keanu's man is in the building. What's up, Tidy 478 in the building? Shout out to the 478. Shout out to everybody in Middle Georgia. What's going on with Keanu's? Daniel Berry Sports Highlights in the house. What's going on, Daniel? Hope you're doing good, man. I appreciate you showing love as always. Happy Tuesday. Hello, everyone. Happy Tuesday to you also. Shaka Zulu in this thing says, what's good, Tidy? I'm chilling like a villain. Shaka, hope everything going good with your brother. Javinci in the building. What's up, Javinci? We also got Zigzag in the house. What's happening, Zigzag? TG in this thing. So what's up, man? We back. The boys are back. Winston says Montana Troy need to come back so he can get a Xavier Watts job on the kickoff. You right. That's our Troy Anderson is our special teams specialist. So you're right about that. Winston says 3-2 loading. Okay, that's what I want to hear, man. So Winston said we're gonna win that game against Buffalo. Kiana says it's on the defense because the day defense is suspect. I gotta admit, Kiana, I really hadn't did a lot of research on their defense. You know, I don't know how good or how bad they are, but I would like to think we have a really, really good offense. You know, our offense has been a point of discussion, a point of contention amongst the fan base. I would like to think we have a very, very good offense. You know, so I hope we can come out here and put up 450, 500 total yards on the Bills, man. You know, so hopefully our offense come out there and they handle their business. You know what I mean? Jonathan Rozier is in the house. It's what's good, Toddy. I'm chilling, man. I'm chilling. Appreciate you coming in. We got our brother Antonio in the house. What's going on with Antonio, my friend? Hope you're doing well tonight. Got Miss Lisa Shepherd in the building. What's happening? Lisa says a win against the Bills would be huge. We need to stack some wins, and that would be a great way to start. I totally agree. Absolutely, absolutely agree. Let's go ahead and get a winning streak going. Let's win. Let's get on the streak and win us about at least 5 in a row. At least 5 in a row, you know. Jonathan says, I see us beating the Bills. I hope so. Definitely hope so. Lisa said, I was reading that the Bills struggled a bit against the Aints. If that's true, then I like our chances. I didn't watch that game where people were saying that O-line. I didn't watch that game either. And I did see somewhere that the game was closer than the score may have indicated. And I think they played. Did they play week 1? I think it might have been. I'm really not sure. Or no. I think that was this past Sunday they played, if memory serves me correctly. But y'all let me know. You know, I'm getting old. My memory ain't that great. TG say it's possible. It's definitely possible, man. It's definitely possible. Kiana says if we lose, it is too early to look at the Bucs. If we lose, is it too early to look at the Bucs schedule? Not really, I don't think, man. You know, you always want to keep your eye on who in front of you, and in a sense, you want to keep your eye on who behind you also. Tampa lost, you know, this past week to Philadelphia, you know, so I don't think so. You know, we want to keep winning and we want them to keep losing. And it's going to be, as we know, it'll be very important when we go down to Tampa for the rematch, you know, the second game. It'll be very, very important that we do win that game. You know, just like it's going to be important that when Carolina come down here, you know, we get our lick back and we beat Carolina. Clay Melton in the house. What's going on with you, Clay? Appreciate you coming in. So the run defense will get a major test against the Bills. Yeah. James Cook, Josh Allen. Yeah, we will get that test. We definitely will get that test. Speaking of the run defense, I saw something on the internet today, y'all, that says Rook or Ruru, hope I said his last name right, is number 1 in the NFL for all defensive linemen when it comes to when it comes to pressure. The pressure rate for Rook is 19.6. The highest mark among defensive tackles with at least 40 pass rushes this season per NFL Next Generation stats. So, Rook is doing a good job at generating pressure. James Pierce Jr. doing a good job at generating pressure. I feel like when I watch Brandon Douglas, I feel like he's doing a fantastic job. His second year in the league, first year as a starter. So I like what our defensive line has done so far. Now, our run defense last game against Washington, not what I envisioned, but hopefully they'll be a lot better here against Buffalo. And I know some of us was happy that the Falcons, and much respect to him. Some of us was happy. We thought it was time that the Falcons moved on from Grady Jarrett. Some of us say, hey man, we may miss Grady when he's gone. But so far, we still got a lot of football to play. I think it has been the right decision because you enable these young guys to get more snaps, and you still got your veteran David Onyemata in there. And I think David Onyemata has been playing some good football. Quiet as kept. I think since we got Onyemata with this is his third season now with Atlanta. I think he has been a better player than Grady Jarrett since he came to Atlanta. So far it does look like we made the right move by moving past Grady, because one thing about it, man, if our defense was just continuing to be bad and terrible and ranking at the bottom of the NFL, you can't keep bringing the same personnel back. At some point in time, you got to start getting new personnel in here, getting new players in here, getting younger players in here. You can't keep doing the same thing expecting different results. So far, so good. T. Terry in the house. What's happening, Toddy? I'm chilling, man. Doing very good on this Tuesday night. Jonathan says, do we spy Josh Allen? They'll probably do it on some plays, but I don't think, because Josh Allen is excellent throwing the football too, I don't think you can get at a point where you just spy him the whole game. This is going to be one of those games that you hope. We just talked about pressure rate from James Pierce and Ruka Ruru. This is going to be one of them games where you hope that they're at the top of their game and they could just keep pressure on Josh Allen. Now some plays, do you have Jalen Walker? Hey man, you just spy Josh. Wherever he go, you go. If he go to the sideline and get some Gatorade, you follow him there. When he run into the locker room at halftime, you follow him there. So some plays, yeah, you keep a spy on him, but I don't think you spy him every the entire game, which I'm sure the Falcons won't do regardless. John Kemp in the house. What's up, John? What's up, Tyler? Let's eat some buffalo burgers. I'm down with that, brother. Buffalo burgers and some buffalo wings. You know what I mean? Let's go. Coach in the building. What's going on with you, Coach? Says the Bills ranked 11th in defense. So far, they've been playing really good defense. I think what are we ranked in defense? Are we still ranked 2, y'all? We still ranked 2nd? I think we're still in the top 5. And also shout out to the Coach's Corner, man. Y'all make sure to check out Coach on YouTube. He has started his show. He is located at the Coach's Corner. He will be on tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So y'all let's make sure that we do sub his channel and get him going on the right foot as well. Winston says Bills and Aints play Sunday. Thank you. Aints was giving them their issue till late in the third. Bills can definitely be had, especially if we get our run game going the way we did against Minnesota. Washington. That's a great comment. And I think that's going to be very important. I know every game, the game, I can't say every game, but I know every game can't be played the same way, but I'm a big proponent of the way we played against Washington. That is this team's blueprint. That should be our signature playing style going forward. And the majority of the games that we play, run the ball, establish the run, get your run game going early. If the running game isn't as successful as you want it to be early, don't abandon it. Michael Penix still very young. You don't want to put a whole lot on his shoulders. Penix has not shown that we can win a game when he's throwing the ball 30, 35 times a game. And I understand this is the NFL. This is NFL football. It is a passing league. There will be some games where he has to throw it 35 times, 40 times a game. But those are not ideal circumstances. We want to pound the football, running the ball with Bijan, with Tyler Algier, set the tempo. That's our style. Control the clock. And I feel like if we stick to that scheme, we stick to that game plan, we will win more games. then we lose. So I want to see us continue to establish that run game and just beat up on the Bills, man. You know, have it with them boys. They just tied. They tied in the fourth quarter. And then, you know, we break the game wide open. You know, that'll be an ideal game for me. Winston says, Jimmy Lake held back our D-line. It's impossible for the whole draft class that couldn't get on the field last year or all individually balling out. They are all balling out right now. They are definitely all balling out right now. Unfortunately, Braylon Trice got hurt again. How long, I don't know. I think he re-aggravated the same leg injury that he had last year. So hopefully he bounced back quickly because we don't know what we got of him. We hadn't had an opportunity to get him on the field as of yet. Millie Mills in the house. What's happening, Millie? ABG, what's up with? Hey, man, I'm chilling, bro. Appreciate you coming in. Coach says Grady is Dunzo. I think that's what that means. It looks horrible this year. I mean, bad. I haven't really caught a Chicago game yet, but I need to see what old Grady doing, man. I may just one of these days, since we off, I may watch some Chicago games, pull them up and watch them on the NFL.com. Georgia, Texas boy in the house. What's up, Georgia, Texas boy? Says, what it do, Tight End Falcons family? The new era is here. The Atlanta Falcons will rise in 2025. I like that. I do like that. Appreciate it, Winston. So we are still second in total defense. All right, let's go. Let's keep that momentum going. Let's keep it going. Let's make sure that we hold Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. Let's see. What's a good number? What's a good realistic number? Let's hold them to under. I think if we can hold them to under 330 total yards, we win. You know, we hold them to under 330 total yards, we win. We'll leave out the bins with a dub. You know, so let's hope we can do that. Johnson says that we still rank second. I love that, man. Let's go. Let's go. I think I saw something where we have 10 sacks right now. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong. The most amount of sacks we have had through 4 games since 2017. I believe Zach Harrison is the sack leader right now with 2.5. Zach is on pace, if he continues that pace, to finish the season with 10.5 sacks, which would be the first double-digit sack guy since Mr. Vic Beasley, excuse me. And that's been a minute, man. That's been a minute. I think that was that Super Bowl year, right? Ooh, that just show how bad we've been at rushing the passes, bro. It's been about 10 years since we had a guy come in here and get double-digit sacks. That's not good. But that's the past. That's the past. Now we can do about that right now. Coach says the Bills are number 1 at pass defense. Okay, didn't know that. We're number 2. We are number 5 in run defense. Bills are 31. Oh, so we got to just run. We need to run their ass out of the stadium then. There's no way that we should be trying to pass on a team who has the worst run defense in the league. And I mean slow roll their ass. You know what I'm saying? Slow rolling with their run game. Slow rolling. Kiana says, do you ever see us using Tyler in play action? Not that I can recall this year right offhand. Not that I really can recall. I know we have saw it with Bijan a few times, but not that I can recall with Tyler. And naturally, the times that we have done it with Bijan, you know, Bijan draws a lot of attention, man. He was drawing a lot of attention last year, and the start that he's off this year, you know, he's drawing even more attention. Fun fact, Bijan Robinson, speaking of Bijan Robinson, he leads the Falcons in rushing yards and receiving yards. Bijan is our leading rusher in rushing yards and also our leading pass catcher in receiving yards. So he's off to a phenomenal start. I think Bijan is on pace right now. If he can continue this pace, I think he'll end the season with about 2,480 yards, something like that. You know, right around 2,500 All-purpose yards. That's a shitload of yards, man. Um, I would love to see him accomplish such a feat. You know, even though that's a lot, but that's a lot of it's a lot. That's a lot. That's a that's a heavy workload. That's a lot of running. But I would love to see him accomplish such a feat. And possibly, depending on how many games we win, even though it is a quarterback award, possibly throw his name in the hat for regular season MVP. I would guess that would almost certainly win him Offensive Player of the Year. But as y'all know in the NFL, man, all those awards that I just named, they love to give them to quarterbacks, man. They love to get those awards to quarterbacks, especially the regular season MVP. And I really don't like it, to be honest, man. It's such a quarterback-centric award. The quarterback has won that award like 80-85% of the time the last 20 to 30 years, and I don't like it. I almost wish that they would create another offensive award where they rarely let the quarterback win it. Like most outstanding player, or, most outstanding offensive player. But I guess they look at the offensive player of the year in the same vein. 82 Monte Carlo says putting Bijan in the slot and Tyler in the backfield gonna give us a lot of leverage. It's gonna make the defense have to second guess. Tyler has not Tyler. I have noticed the first 4 games Bijan does line up in the slot, pretty frequently. And that's just a testament to the incredible athlete he is. His versatility, excellent runner of the football, extremely good, very good catching the ball out the backfield, a very good blocking running back when it's time to pick up the blitz. Pretty much the total package, y'all. Bijan is the truth. He the truth, man. Pretty much the total package. Clay says 20 touches for Bijan, 15 for Tyler. That should be the game plan against the Bills. I like it. That's 35 rushing attempts. I really like it, and I agree with you. Winston says, in a perfect world, barring setbacks, Norton, Anderson, and Trice activation windows all can be opened now, but if they can't play within 21 days, they'll be is that injury reserve for the rest of the season. AJ can return. I want to say I saw something from Raheem Morris that said, I don't want to misquote him, but it was something about AJ is looking good, or it's likely that he will be back for that Washington game. It was something of that nature. I'm sure y'all seen it also, so I'm sure somebody will probably let me know exactly what it was here soon. Johnson said, I believe we are second in sacks so far this year. Oh, so we're doing real good, man. Hopefully we can keep that sack pace up, bro. We keep that sack pace up, we're going to be doing very well. Winston says they can't stop the run for it. Ain't sound like 150 on the ground on them last week. So we just need to run their ass in the ground, bro. Run them straight in the ground. King Atlanta support in the building. What's up, Norwich King? Can't wait to see this team win Super Bowls. Let's try to start that this year. Wouldn't that be dope if we could start it this year? Wouldn't that be dope? We get a Super Bowl this year, 2025. Let's go ahead and start it now. Once says Bijan pace about 2,400 yards and like 10 touchdowns. Yep. That's exactly what I saw too. And like I said, if he can keep up that pace, man, that would be phenomenal. Jay Black in the house. What's happening with you, Jay Black? Appreciate you coming in. Dravis A. Card, I hope I pronounced your first name correctly, says, do you foresee the Falcons possibly keeping Pitts? Oh, that's a great question, man. That's a fantastic question. If I had to give you a direct answer tonight, which of course the reason that you're asking me that, on my part, yes. Just to cut the bullshit, yes, I do. I can see it. Yes, I can. Naturally to expound on my answer. Naturally, it'll depend on how Pitts finished this season. But yeah, I do. I do see them keeping Pitts. Kyle Pitts, I believe, is only 24 years old. And so far, I think Kyle Pitts has played really good football this year. I think he did a great job of getting himself in shape for this season. And not saying that I thought he was not in shape, but I think he worked even harder this offseason. I just see him when I see him coming out the blocks now, and even after he catch the football, I just see a more explosive Kyle Pitts. You know, I see him doing a much better job at route running. Also, that had always been one of my biggest criticisms of Kyle Pitts was his route running, and I think he's doing a much better job of route running so far this season. I noticed toward the end of last season that he was becoming a better blocking tight end. And Kyle is probably never going to be a very good or great blocking tight end. But one thing about blocking is mostly just effort. It's easy for me to say that behind a mic. But what I'm trying to say is, like, if you put forth the effort, does that mean you're going to be able to block like Chris Lindstrom? I'm not saying that, but blocking is just one of them dirty jobs. You know, if you put the effort to block and to at least be efficient blocking, you know, you can at least get the job done. And if Kyle could just consistently be somebody at least that we can depend on and we can keep in the game during certain tight end blocking assignments, that helps our offense, you know, be a lot more unpredictable. But again, to answer your question, yeah, I do see us bringing him back. I really think, man, if we can keep Kyle playing on this trajectory that he's going right now, our three-headed monster would be Michael Penix, Kyle Pitts, Bijan Robinson. And I feel so bad. No, I feel bad leaving Drake out of that. Maybe I should say a four-headed monster. I can't do Drake like that. I gotta put Drake in. I can't do Drake like that. So we'll just call it a four-headed monster. Penix, Bijan, Drake, and Kyle. You know, our four-headed monster. But yeah, I do see him coming back. Once I said I'm still waiting on Bijan jet sweep from the slot with Algier and Warner lead block, and it'll probably be coming this year. It'll definitely probably be coming. I can actually see that happening. Least the next year NFL honors will recognize offensive linemen through an award called the Protector of the Year. I like that. Finally giving offensive linemen some love and some appreciation, because pretty much most of the awards are all skill position awards. You know, they get all the headlines, they get all the glory, but as y'all know, man, most of this stuff start in the trenches. You know, you lock them trenches down, man, you can go a long way in any level of football for the very most part. Robin Layfield, what's going on? Appreciate you coming through, Robin. So, Tyler, what's up with you? I'm chilling. I could not be better. Appreciate you asking. Just chilling, man, and enjoying this Tuesday. Getting ready for the temperature to drop a little bit. Tomorrow, I think the high is supposed to be in like the low 80s. So, fall weather is definitely upon us. Strapdo says, how do you think we will face? How do you think we will fear against the Buffalo Bills? Oh, I think you mean fair against the Buffalo Bills. I think we got a good chance of winning the game. This team gave me a lot of reason to be confident in them, how they came out and responded against Washington. And I was saying earlier, the Falcons just got to get to the point where they can be consistent. That's always been one of our Achilles heels. I mean, just like we came out and we looked great against the Vikings, and then we dropped the egg against the Panthers. Came out and played good football against Washington. So can we continue the trend of playing good football, or we gonna continue to stay on this Atlanta roller coaster? You know, so I like the matchup because as y'all have told me, the Bills' run defense is trash. Our rushing offense is great. You know, our rushing offense is great. You know, I'm sure we probably what are we ranked in rushing right now? I think we ranked the 6th best rushing offense, maybe fifth or 6th, but either way. So I like the matchup. It's really gonna be keeping pressure on Josh Allen. Josh Allen is built like Cam Newton. So you can't just hit Josh Allen one time. You can't hit him just 2 times. You're gonna have to get to Josh Allen all night long. And by the 3rd quarter, make him uncomfortable. Those last 2 quarters got to make him uncomfortable. If we can keep Josh Allen uncomfortable, keep him off his spot, keep him off his rhythm, because of course, the Bills, they go as Josh Allen goes. So we can disturb their quarterback, have one of our best pass rushing games of the year. I really like our chances. Get them to have a bunch of 3 and outs. Force the most 3 and outs that Buffalo has seen so far these last year and a half. And that way we can get our running game going, play our tempo. We can't play the Bills tempo. We at home. We got to control the tempo, control the time of possession. Don't make or don't ask Penix to do too much. That's still our baby. He's still learning how to crawl and walk. We'll be okay. Just got to play our game, man, and don't get ourselves out the game early. Don't get to a point where you got to start playing catch up early in the 3rd quarter, late in the 2nd quarter. Because if you're doing that now, you almost got to kind of abandon your running game and start throwing the ball, and that's what I don't want us to do. Play our style, play our tempo, control the clock. That's what we do best. Stick to what we do best. When says give Pitts a 2-year deal, then we could come back to the table after the year, franchise tag out 0 for a year, and go all in the Super Bowl next season. Now, this is the only problem with that. I don't think Kyle Pitts would agree to a 2-year deal, because this is possibly, he's only 24, but it's possible this could be his one opportunity to get his like big boy contract. So I'm like 95% sure that his agent and Kyle Pitts, they're going to want at least a 4-year deal with a good amount of guaranteed money. I don't think you're going to get Pitts to take like a 2-year prove-it deal at age 24. Especially if he continues on this pace that he's on right now, because he's on pace for about 85 catches, about 900 yards, and 4 or 5 touchdowns. So if he finishes the regular season like that, you're going to have to pay him. And you're going to have to give him a long-term extension. And if you don't, somebody else will, or Atlanta will have to apply one of the tags to him, possibly the franchise tag. Now, I went franchise tag Tyler Algier. I wouldn't do that. Because at that point, man, you're making him one of the highest paid running backs in the league. And Bijan is your number 1 running back, clearly. So I don't want to never be in a position where Tyler Algier is making top 3, top 4 running back money, and Bijan is getting a heavy workload. As much as we're gonna hate it, in all likelihood, you're just gonna have to watch Tyler leaving free agency, because you're not gonna be able to pay everybody on this team, and that's what happens, when you got a lot of offensive talent. And I think Tyler Algier is gonna want to make a nice paycheck, like we all do. We all want to make nice money, and I really think Tyler is gonna want to try to get to a team where he can start at. So I definitely for nothing I would not franchise Tyler Algier. Clay Melton says Wilkerson has been good. We needed that from him. He's been stable. He has been stable. Now early in the season, he was a little shaky. He hadn't been like terrible, but you can see with every game that we have played, you're seeing his confidence level get better. One thing I am noticing from him also is his footwork has got considerably better. Those first 2 games, when he go into his, to his stance, his pass blocking stance, he kind of started his backpedal. I used to always think like this guy about to fall over at any moment, but he's really worked on his footwork, and he's playing a much better. When I've been talking about Wilkerson, I've been saying like he hasn't been good and he hasn't been terrible. He's been exactly what we needed him to be as the third string tackle. And when we needed to, we've sent, Bijan or sometimes Tyler over there to go chip block the edge to help him out a little bit, or you just send a tight end over there and help him out. But he's done a lot better than I think a lot of us thought that he would do. Strapped up says, I agree. Coach Corner says Pitts out here, and I don't blame him. Maybe not. The thing with Pitts, if the Falcons really want to keep him, speaking of the franchise tag, they can franchise him. They could put a franchise tag on him, and he, you got to come back. I don't know. I can't say that Kyle wants to leave Atlanta. I really don't know. I wish I could get better insight. But the Falcons, they still hold some leverage. They do have that franchise tag, and if they feel that he's worth it, they can apply that to him, or they could put the other tag on there. Not the franchise tag. I forgot what it's called, but it's pretty much for another NFL team would have to come in and make an offer also. So they do have some options there as far as Atlanta goes. TG says he is important also. I like how he finished his run. I think you're talking about Tyler. Hannibal Black. What's up, Hannibal? Bijan is excellent, but this idea that he is the engine of the offense will get us nowhere. The focus must be Michael Penix. He has to be allowed to dominate. I will agree with you in about another year and a half. I will agree with you. I'll agree with you in about another year and a half. Ultimately, you want your quarterback to be the engine of your offense, but Michael Penix has only started 6 games now? No, 7 games. We're 2-2 now, so he's played 4 this year, 3 last year. So he started 7 games, and you really don't want to put that much pressure on a first year on any quarterback in his first full season as your starter. I mean, I understand what you're saying, but I don't think our team has gotten to that point where you can just hand Michael Penix the keys and say, okay, throw it 35, 40 times a game. And, we're going to take away some of Bijan's touches because you are now where you need to be in your maturation. I just don't think Penix is there yet. And if you look at the numbers, anytime Penix has thrown the ball, I think it's 27 times or less, he has won all 3 games. And the 4 losses that Penix has as a pro, that's when he's throwing the ball 30-plus times a game. So as long as you got Bijan here, use him. As long as you got Tyler Algier here, use him. Control the clock and, just make it easier for him. Use last game, for example. Penix, he had 26 passing attempts, and look how efficient he was with the football. He only had only just 1 bad throw, and that was the interception. He was 21 for 26, 1 interception. He damn near was flawless. You take that 1 interception away, he was damn near flawless. And that's with him just throwing the ball 26 times, and he still had, about 315 passing yards. So, I get what you're saying, but I just don't feel like Penix Jr. is there just yet, especially once we only 2 games removed from him being absolutely terrible in the Carolina game when we forced him to throw the ball a bunch of times. Millie Mills says, if you ask me, Tyler is replaceable as F. Just found another big running back coming out of college. His style is everywhere. Bijan isn't. I see what you're saying on that, man. Bijan is a very, very special talent, super special talent. And to me, Tyler Algier is very talented also. Of course, he's not as talented as Bijan. I feel like they complement each other very well. 2 vastly different running styles. Bijan is kind of like I guess if you want to call him a scat back. He can jump in and out of holes very, very quick. Super versatile. As we've seen all this year, Bijan can hit you for 120 yards rushing or 120 yards receiving. And his versatility is really unmatched for the most part in the NFL. There's only maybe one or two other players, well, maybe three, who can do what he does from the running back position. And Tyler's just more of a bruiser. And when I say he's more of a bruiser, I don't mean in a Jerome Bettis sense, because Tyler got a little agility about himself. I think he has very good vision. He's pretty nimble on his feet, and for a big strong back, he has some pretty decent speed also. And I just think they're a great complement to one another. In a perfect world, we could keep them both, but I guess we'll know how that goes in the offseason. Winston says Philly just won a Super Bowl with their running back as the engine of the offense. Has been proven it can be done, and Penix still have a lot of growing to do. I absolutely agree about that. I don't want to rush Penix's progression, man. Coach says, I believe he wants to stay, but the best thing for his career is to leave. And I'm sure you're speaking of Kyle Pitts. He needs and who we really use as tight end, him at Kansas City would be a problem. That would be a problem. I don't know if Kansas City would be able to afford him, but yeah, Patrick Mahomes has shown, like, man, you get me a tight end who can run, I could do big things with him. Clay Meltz says balance is key almost always. I definitely agree with you on that. He tears the tight end when it's time to pay Bijan. Will he become the highest paid running back in the NFL? Yes, he will. He definitely will. And he having the kind of year he having now, bro. Man, you talking about 2020? Man, Bijan, bro. Bijan might get us about. I'm not looking at the market right now, but I think the highest paid back per season is Saquon. I think he's making about 19 point something per year. I'm not looking at it. I can pull it up though. Bijan might hit us about 22, 23 million per season, y'all. 4-year contract. And most of that gonna be guaranteed because he's a running back. Yeah, he will be, man. He will be. It's crazy. And I know Raheem was just propping up his guy, propping up his player, bigging up his player. But when Raheem Morris said about a week and a half ago, Bijan Robinson is the best player in the NFL right now, it seemed like, he just saying that because that's his guy. I don't about to believe that. But bro, these first 4 games of the year, and I know it's a long season. I know you can't be crowned the best player in the NFL just off 4 games. But the first 4 games of the year, it's hard to argue. It's hard to argue. TJ said Warwick and TJ. I think you're speaking of Warwick Dunn and TJ Deckett. Both were key members of DVD, who were super excited to watch. Hannibal Black, let's watch throughout the season. I don't think it's the number of passes, is where he's passing. First 3 games was too much check down. The last game he threatened deep, hell broke loose. And I think that's part of his maturation process, Hannibal, is him just learning. Him learning. And when you say the first 3 games was too much checking down, or him checking down to the check down receiver, is because he hadn't processed everything yet. So the check down is always easy for the young quarterback. It's always easy, when they come out there and they throw them complex schemes at them on defense and them exotic blitzes, and they're trying to hide the blitz, and and that while he's trying to read the defense, they talking all kind of shit, and you Ricky, we about to knock your, and it's a lot for a young quarterback to process. So when you say the first 3 games he's checking down a lot, because those are the easy passes for him, because he's still going through his learning process. And that's why you see him. That's why we saw him checking down so much. He checked down a lot in the Minnesota game because, you got that defensive coordinator over there, who's one of the best in the business, doing all them exotic blitzes, hiding the blitzes from him, coming out with all kind of defensive sets for a quarterback who's only started with 4 or 5 games. Like, it can be, it can be a lot. So he just gonna shoot. I'm gonna throw the ball to Bijan. I'm about to hit Kyle Pitts in the flats. And that's really what I'm saying. I'm not saying that Penix don't have the talent or potential to be a quarterback who could throw for 4,500, 4,800 yards per year, possibly 5,000 yards in the season and 35, 40 plus touchdowns. But game 5, game 4, game 5, game 6, game 7, his first year starting as a full-time starter, that's asking a lot. That's asking a lot. You don't really get that from a NFL quarterback probably once every generation. You got it from Pat Mahomes, but that's Pat Mahomes. Like, it's only when Pat Mahomes. And even then with Pat Mahomes, his coach was Andy Reid, and also Pat had the luxury of sitting down the entire year. Even though Penix sat down most of the year, Pat sat down the entire year. So I get what you're saying, but I just don't think there's a reason to rush him. I think our running game is potent enough where we can win games, running the ball, using our running backs. Millie Mills says James Cook, CMC, and Barkley. Only running backs similar. And also we probably got to add Jahmyr Gibbs in there too. Got to give him his props too. James Holloway in the building. What's going on, James? How you doing tonight, brother? Miller Mills says Kamara used to be there, but he don't run for 100 plus yards no more. Yeah, Kamara getting at that point, he getting a little age on him. I can't front on Kamara, even though he played for the enemy. Kamara in his prime years, complete dog. Complete dog. I don't think he had that dynamic that Bijan had. And that's not saying nothing about Alvin Kamara. Kamara was a bad boy in his prime years. I mean, a bad boy. I got you, coach. Jonathan Rozier says Bijan will cost about 25 M's. Ooh-wee. Let's look it up real quick. Highest paid running backs in NFL. Let's look it up. Because I think Saquon make about 19.6, 19.8. Let me look it up real quick. Saquon to make it 20.6. So Bijan, if you pay Bijan next offseason or the following offseason, I don't know if the market would dictate him making $5 million more than the highest paid running back, unless Detroit just got real stupid and paid Jahmyr Gibbs first and gave him something like $24 million a season. I'll just say it like this. If they were to pay Bijan after this season and nobody resets the market before him, Bijan would probably get about 22.5 million per year, and that would give him about $2 million more per season than Barkley makes right now. I think if he were to get paid right now or the end of the year, he would top out at 23 million. Winston says Bijan keep this pace and he's a shoe-in for Offensive Player of the Year and top 3 in the MVP. I can agree on that. Gibbs is nice, but there are 2 entirely different players. Bijan will reset the market. I can definitely agree with that. Robin, how would you feel if we got Tyler for a 3-year deal between 16 and 18 million? Be honest with you, I wouldn't like it. I wouldn't like it at all. I wouldn't like it. Let me answer your question this way. How would I feel? I personally wouldn't like it. I think it would be a very bad idea for Atlanta. Now, do I think he's worth it? I do think he's worth that contract. I think he's worth $5 or $6 million a year. And the reason I wouldn't like it because if you pay Tyler $5 or $6 million per season, and it's a 3-year deal, you're gonna overlap Bijan's contract. Now you're looking at a running back room where you got 2 running backs. Your running back room is $30 million. And that's gonna hamstring the team. I wouldn't want to invest that. Excuse me. I wouldn't want to invest that kind of money in my running back room. Only way I would do it is if we win a Super Bowl with them before we pay either one of them. In a fantasy land, if the Falcons win the 2025 Super Bowl, everybody gonna get rewarded then. I'm gonna be like Oprah, you get a contract, you get a contract, you get a contract, you get a contract. I would do it then because you don't want a Super Bowl. You know what I mean? And then it's a 3-year deal. But outside of that, and it's me being honest, it's unlikely we'll win the Super Bowl this season. I wouldn't like it. Again, I think Tyler's worth it, and I think a team will pay him that. That's why I don't see him coming back to the Falcons, because somebody will pay him running back one money, and he deserves it. He deserves it. Tyler shouldn't be in a situation like he was the Carolina game where he only get 1 carry. And I think the coaching staff kind of probably felt a little guilty about that too, because if you notice the end of the Washington game, they kind of like, okay, Tyler, we're gonna let you get most of the burn, and we're gonna sit Bijan down, because you didn't really get any rushing attempts the prior game. Lisa said, if I remember correctly, Kamara hasn't done too much damage when we played the Aints. Our defense has usually been able to contain him. Yes, you are absolutely correct. He's really never really got off on the Falcons like he has done other teams. Especially a few years ago when he was just doing it to everybody. But for the most part, we have pretty much contained Alvin. It's been in the past years, it had been Taysom Hill. For whatever reason, we would just have him looking like he would look like Josh Allen on us for whatever reason. Taysom Hill would be our kryptonite, I guess you could say. Abel says the sooner Terry pays him, the bigger the savings. That's a key point. They may just say after this season, you know what? Let's go ahead and pay the dude. Let's go ahead and break him off. Because he's incredibly talented. And what's gonna help Bijan out in with Atlanta especially is Bijan is just such a likable person, man. He's such a likable person. He's any owner in the NFL would want him to be one of the major faces of their team. And soon he's going to be one of the major faces of the NFL as a non-quarterback. I saw somebody on Twitter about a day or two ago who lived in Miami, and they was in the Miami Mall, and they was like, man, they got Bijan Robinson jersey that they selling here in the mall. Excuse me. And they was like, man, we hadn't saw a Falcons jersey here since Michael Vick. So that says a lot. He's very likable. He's very likable, very marketable. So you're going to see Bijan around for a good while in Atlanta, for sure. Once Bijan will be around $24 million if we wait till next offseason. Whenever he gets paid, he's going to be at the top of the market. His agent is going to wait till Gibbs get paid. And that's going to be the model. Going to be the model for Bijan Robinson. We'll see. We will definitely see. I know him and Gibbs, they're going to be. They came in the league at the same time, obviously, drafted around the same time. So we shall see. They both gonna get a grip. They definitely both gonna get a grip, man. Mill says Bijan gotta wait though. Drizzy, Kyle, and Jesse Bates up next. I don't know. I don't know. I wish I could speak for Terry. I wish I knew what their contract strategy was gonna be. But in order of importance to the team, I would say Bijan is the most important of the players that you just named. But I know what you mean in far as contract structure goes. But sometimes, man, if you just that guy like Bijan is, like, bro, they'll put you in the front of the line. But we shall see. You know what I mean? Who knows? Like, if Terry continue to be our general manager, who knows? Terry might say, you know what, bro? Hey, bro, you have to ride this out. We about to ride this rookie contract out as long as we can. Why we gonna get in a hurry to pay you more money and we already got you on a rookie contract? So you never know. Bijan may have to just ride that rookie contract out. I don't know. I don't know what the strategy is gonna be. I have no idea. You know, they may just say, hey, man, we're gonna ride this rookie contract out, man. This dude got one more year on the rookie deal before we even gotta put him on a 5th-year option. So we'll see. Whenever he get paid, it's gonna be a grip. He definitely gonna get a grip. Ski in the building. What's going on, Ski? So I say let Drake go and pay Bijan and Kyle, maybe Bates, but I'll let Bates walk and let Xavier Watson, Billy Bowman takes that spot at safety. Only thing I would keep Drake. I wouldn't let Drake go. Drake is a very, very good young wide receiver. And another reason I wouldn't let Drake go, like for me, this is like my own, I guess, opinion, is when you take an NFL player in the top 10 of the draft, for me, those are what's called foundation picks. That's like the foundation of the house. You're building a new house. Those are your literal foundation. Those are the bricks. You know, you put your foundation down and then you build around the foundation when you drafting guys in the top 10. The point I'm trying to make is, like, if I'm taking any player in top 10 of the draft, specifically Drake, who we took at number 8 overall, to turn around and let him walk after his rookie year, when he has clearly, in my opinion, played up to the level to get a new contract from the Falcons, to me, at that point, you're wasting very valuable draft picks by not signing these guys to second contract deals when they have played to the level that their rookie deal dictate they should. Now, Kyle Pitts, you know, arguable. But again, if Kyle keeps playing like he's playing now, I would sign him to another deal. No, I'm just one of them people that I don't believe in. If I'm going to take a guy in the top 10, I'm planning on you to be here for at least 8 years, because those are my foundational picks. You know, I'm planning on you to be here for at least 8 years, unless I drafted you and you just was a bust. And okay, yeah, we got to let you go. Ski says up to Penix. Let Penix have his type of receivers, deep threat, and draft another cornerback. Ski also says we definitely need a space either defensive tackle or nose tackle. We don't have that right now. That's something we can definitely address in the 2026 draft or possibly the 2027 draft. Big Ron Thomas in the house. What's going on with you, Ron? How you doing tonight, brother? Lisa says, you're right. Taysom Hill has been our kryptonite. Yeah. Hey, man, he looked like Josh Allen against us and then to be a bum against everybody else. Zig says, got to pay Bergeron too. Yeah, got to pay Bergeron. Bergeron got maybe about 2 more years on his deal? I think we got a little time for Bergeron. Lisa says, I'm keeping Drake. Yes, I'm keeping the champagne popping for sure. Ski says, Drake sucks. People have yet to answer my question right now. Are you comfortable paying Drake London 35 to 40 million? Drake would not get 40 million. He wouldn't get that much. Now, he gonna get some money now, but he would not command 40 million. Drake is not gonna be anywhere near what Jamar Chase makes. I don't think. So I don't see him getting a $40 million deal. Drake London will probably end up around 31 to 34,000. I'll be a little more liberal. 32 to 34,000. He'll be somewhere around there, but he ain't gonna get 40 million. He's not gonna get Justin Jefferson money. Excuse me, Jamar Chase money is what I meant to say. He's not gonna get Jamar Chase money. There's a big gap in talent between him and Chase. So I don't see him getting that kind of money from Atlanta. Miller says, "Damn, I forgot about Matt Bergeron. Yeah, we got to get him some chicken too. Yeah, man. A lot of these boys gonna be using some chicken soon, man, for sure. Anissa, we should draft another wide receiver. I'm down for that. Definitely agree on that. Hannibal says great running backs cool, but historically they more for entertainment. You win the Super Bowl with your quarterback. Marshall fought the rare running back centric offense to win it all. Philly was good before Saquon. I can pretty much agree with that for the very most part. In the past eras of the NFL, they were more running back centric, and now the current era that we're in is more quarterback centric. So you make valid points there. It's definitely a quarterback league without a doubt. Once this Bergeron third season, he has to be paid after next season because he was a second round pick, no 5th-year option. All right, so one more year. Jonathan Rozier says 34,000 or million. I think you mean Drake London, if I'm understanding you correctly. Let's talk about my apologies too, man. We have not even done grades so far this season, and I'll try to get back. I'll try to start back doing them probably the Buffalo game. So my apologies for that. But let's look at some PFF scores real quick. This is for the last game. Let me make sure I'm looking at the right game. Yeah, week 4. Okay. So last game against Washington, PFF had Drake London at a 91.3. You had Michael Penix Jr. at an 84.4. You had Kyle Pitts Sr. He is now senior. 78.4. Tyler Algier, 75.8. Big Jake Matthews came in at 74.4. Bijan Robinson surprisingly was a 72.9. It looks like for whatever reason what drove Bijan grade down is they only gave him a 19.5 for pass blocking. I need to go back and look and see, like, he must have made some critical mistakes to have that bad of a grade for pass blocking. Somebody just mentioned Matthew Bergeron. He had a 70.1. Elijah Wilson, good grade. Somebody mentioned him earlier, 69.8. I think Hannibal Black mentioned him. Chris Lindstrom, 60.8. Let's look at defense now. Offense graded out very, very good. Let's see what the defense did. And this is the game against Washington. Jalen Walker was the highest graded defender at 86.2. Devon Diablo graded out at an 80.4. And also speaking of Devon Diablo, our head coach Raheem Morris recently said that Diablo is playing past. He's playing a coverage linebacker at an elite level. Said he has elite coverage skills when he's asked to cover from the linebacker position. And he has done a great job when asked to cover so far this season. Kaden Ellis came in at a 79.7. David Onyemata, 78.8. Jesse Bates III, 77.2. Xavier Rotz was a 76.7. Arnold Ebukati was a 67.5. D. Alford got a 28.4. So a pretty terrible score there for D. Alford, who he had a rough time matched up against Deebo Samuels. The Washington game. It was a pretty tough time. It was a pretty hard axe. Him matched up against old Deebo. So he did not grade out very well. Hopefully AJ Terrell will be back because AJ was playing some good football before he went down with his knee injury. So those were some of the PFF grades there. Let me catch back up on the comment side here. Baker Mayfield burner says, Toddy, do you think Baker Mayfield is a top tier quarterback? Well, Baker Mayfield burner, that's a damn good question, man. I think he's right there. I'll say this, Baker Mayfield burner. If he can turn in another season, this season in 2025, like he did in 2024, I would say yes, he's a top tier quarterback. If he has a letdown season, then I would have a hard time calling him a top tier quarterback. But he's right there on the brink. He's right there on the brink. Give me one more season like last year, I say yeah, Baker Mayfield is a top tier quarterback. If he has like a down season, then I gotta kind of keep him on the outside looking in. I would take him. I wouldn't put him at top tier level if he has a down season, which as a Falcons fan, I hope he does. I'm just being real. But if he has a down season, I couldn't put him as top tier. I would put him at the next level. Very good. No, very good. But I will say, man, Baker Mayfield has started to develop over the last couple or few years an uncanny ability to win games late. And that's what top tier quarterbacks do. Even week one against us, he made them third down plays when they needed them. He only had about 160 yards passing, but 3 critical touchdowns. And he's just finding a way to do that all season long, these last 2 years. So got to give props to do. Baker went to Tampa. He's playing some damn good football. Gaming worldwide, we need to get better quality wide receivers on this roster. Ray and the crew, ain't it long term? I think Ray is probably. I'll just say I agree with you long term for Ray. Ray is just a complimentary piece. He's a good complimentary piece. He gave us a very, very good year based on what we paid him. Ray actually gave us way more in value, last year than he got from a paycheck. So I don't have a problem with him. And that's how you end up winning a lot of football games. When guys give you more in value than what you give them in terms of a direct deposit, if that makes any sense. Jonathan Rozier says, very impressed with Wilkinson. He's definitely improved. Antoine Wartime, 478 in here. Shout out to the Middle Georgia, my Middle Georgia folk, Middle Georgia people. Let's go Falcons, ABG. What's sad and with you, Antoine? Appreciate you coming in. When says that play, the play where he was to chip and lick it to the flat, but Nuzul and Bergeron messed that play up and got Penix folded like a cookout chair. I know what you're talking about. And then Bijan with another block, so I can see the grade. Okay, so hey, you agree with the grade, and that's what brought his entire grade down, because everything else looked good, but he had like a 19 passing grade. Strapdo said he a top tier player, so you got one Falcon fan saying he is a top tier player. I got 3 Dirty in the building. Yo, what up, 3 Dirty? Appreciate you coming in, my friend. Hannibal says, you think Braylon Trice getting reps this year? That's a good question. He did his 4-game RF stint. I like his game, but don't want to rush him. Man, that's a good question. I'll say this. I don't think he's going to get any reps anytime soon, as long as his defense is playing as well as they're playing. You make a very good point when you say I don't want to rush him. And I'm sure that Atlanta's coaching staff, trainer staff probably feels the same way. So I don't want to say he's not needed right now, but it's not like the old Falcons defense where we needed any kind of talent we could get to help us out. We're doing pretty good. I wouldn't be surprised if he don't even play no snaps this year, bro. Just to be honest. Just to be totally honest. Ski says can't be biased. Baker Mayfield is top tier. I was trying to actually answer that question as unbiased as possible when I gave my answer, which is why I say if he gives another year like this season, I would give it to him. because and the reason I say that, I'm a very tough critic when it comes to calling quarterback top tier. Because if I say you top tier, that means I'm saying you elite. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all. My definition of elite is not like everybody else's definition of elite. Because to me, especially when you're talking quarterback, there's only gonna be about 1 to 5 elite quarterbacks every year. I've seen some people and they say, well, the top 10 quarterbacks are elite. Not to me. Elite is a very scarce distinction for me. The ninth best quarterback in the league to me is not elite. Because there's nothing rare about that. So that's why I was like, I gotta see it again, because last year for sure he had an elite year. That was an elite season. 2023 had a pretty good year. I wouldn't call 2023 an elite year. 2023, he had 28 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, just barely had 4,000 passing yards, 64% completion percentage, and his rating was a 94. Now, and in 2022, he was with other teams, and it looked like he was on his way out the league at one point. So to me, you got to show that hey man, you got to put some seasons together for me to say you're a top tier or you're an elite quarterback. 2024, definitely. That was an elite season. 41 passing touchdowns, only 16 interceptions, 4,500 passing yards, 107 rating, so 71% completion percentage. So I need to see another top tier type season before I say he's a top tier quarterback, if that makes any sense. Ski says, do you think we should cut Mooney? No. Why should we cut Mooney? You say next year. Okay, my bad. Let me keep reading. My fault, Ski. Ty, do you think we should cut Mooney next year? We don't owe him money next year. A lot of people on their way out. I wouldn't, and I'm saying this right now. Of course, free agency hasn't started anything, but I wouldn't, because the Falcons should be in a great situation in regards to salary cap space next year. I don't see them needing that money by releasing Mooney. I would keep it, man. I know it probably would. Let's see. Save about $12 million if he's a post-June cut. I probably would keep it, man. I probably would keep it. Unless we find somebody in free agency that we really need or we really value, I'm probably gonna keep it, man. And just hopefully he stay healthy. Because when he's healthy, he is definitely a weapon out there for Michael Penix. And that's our one viable deep threat on this team. Much as I like Drake London, that's not a dependable guy that you can say, okay, this is our deep threat on the team. I don't think anybody's going to call Kyle Pitts at this point a deep threat. So really the only guy that can really just take the top off the defense is really Darnell Mooney, man, until we get somebody else. Keanu's man says, hopefully AJ come back, because Coleman and Shakir going to have a field day. That's why the pressure got to be on point. I mentioned that earlier, Keanu's. We're gonna have to get some pressure on Josh Allen, bro. We're gonna make him have a long day. I know Obert familiar with Buffalo, says he's from the Jets, yeah. So he's gonna have some familiarity, with what they like to do on offense with Josh Allen. He likes to do, beyond what typical tape may show him. That's a great comment. Atlanta Falcons Fandemic in the building. What's going on, Atlanta Falcons Fandemic? Cowboy in the building. What's good with you, Todd? Hey, man, I'm chilling, bro. Appreciate you coming in. Y'all make sure to check him out also here on YouTube. One of the great Falcons content creators. I always put out a lot of great content, so make sure that you go and show him some love and subscribe to the channel. Hannibal says, I can't get Baker top tier. Falcons defense dictated pace to him. He almost threw 2 picks to the rookie Xavier Watts. Falcons kicker and backup wide receiver saved them. He threw on the 200 yards versus, I think that means versus our defense. I think he was close to about 160 something yards, man. Something like that, I remember. Maybe like 162 or 167 or something like that. Luckily for them, he made the plays when they really counted, man. When they really counted. And I remember I was at that game, and I remember when we scored that touchdown, and I think it was about two plus minutes left, and I just knew for sure because we had been playing great defense all game. I thought we had that one in the bag, but Falcons gonna do what the Falcons do. Ski said I heard Blank was in the locker room and out on the field. When the onside kick happened, Raheem was definitely gone after that game. If he lost, Blank was getting his firing suit on. I won't say he was gone. His seat would have been real hot. I will say that. If we would have went 1-3, his seat would have be real hot. Arthur Blank normally Arthur don't fire his coaches until the regular season is over. Normally. I know Dan Quinn got fired, but I think Quinn was 0-5 at that point in time, and 0-5, you're pretty much out the playoff race for all intents and purposes. I don't think he would have fired him. I think he would have brought him back, but I think the pressure would have been on. That seat would have went from warm to scorching hot. I do think that. Versus Baker's on the outskirts of top tier. The elite quarterbacks of Lamar, Allen, Mahomes is low-key trending out of elite. Baker is in the lead of the group with Herbert, but both them on the cusp. That's what I do agree with that. 100%. I can't get Baker top tier. He led a defense with 4 rookies dictate pace to him. He barely threw for 200 yards on us. Our kicker and backup wide receiver saved them. Ski says we won't get a sack on Josh Allen. He's very hard to sack. I hope you're wrong, Ski. I gotta be honest, man. I hope you're wrong. Hope you're wrong, man. I hope you're wrong. Lisa says, are you surprised that no one has inquired about acquiring the services of Cousins? The Bengals need a quarterback. To be honest, not really. Because of course you gotta, if someone were to trade for Kirk, there's a lot of contract there you're going to have to observe or take in, I guess I should say. And the word around the campfire is, the Falcons are asking teams, hey man, we want you to pick up more salary than you're supposed to. And we want a pretty decent draft pick. So not really. Not really. I remember D. Orlando Ledbetter said early in the process in the offseason that Kirk Cousins' contract would prevent him from getting traded. And so far, he's been correct. Naturally, if Kirk had a different type of contract, I think people would be blowing up our phones. And it seems, I'm just saying what I'm speculating what I have read online and in other places, but it seems like the Falcons are kind of telling teams like, we straight with him. We straight with keeping Kirk. We got a rookie quarterback, hey, if we got to, we'll put Kirk back in there. So unless y'all want to overpay, we good. We ain't calling y'all. So it kind of seems like that's the vibe Atlanta is giving off from what I've seen. Atlanta Falcons fan Davis and Zach Robinson would be gone before Raheem. We can't put ourselves in position to be paying 3 coaches at once. So who would that be? Of course, Raheem, Arthur Smith, and whoever the new coach would be. Ski says Cousins will get destroyed behind that Bengals O-line. The Bengals kind of they kind of put their own ingredients in their batter to make their cake, though. Of course, you're going to have to pay Joe Burrow. You pay Jamar Chase. And then Joe Burrow hey, I want y'all to pay T. Higgins too. So, man, that's what happened. If you want the 2 wide receivers to eat up all the money, something going to suffer on that team. May it be the O-line of the defense, but that's what happened. We saw that when we paid Matt and Julio all that money. You know what I'm saying? So other parts of the team are going to suffer. Ski said, Ty, did you see the Bengals O-line yesterday? It was atrocious, and they have to pay Myles Garrett, and they have to play Myles Garrett and TJ. Yeah, I saw that, man. I saw something on Twitter, and boy, I felt sorry for that quarterback. It seemed like time. I know this is not what happened, but it seemed like time the ball was hiked. The offensive line just got out the way. Like, all right, y'all go get it. I'm like, boy, that's terrible. That is absolutely terrible. All right, y'all. Let's watch. Let's watch a little bit because we're almost an hour and 30 minutes in. Let's watch a little bit of our film from our game before I check out of here. Give me just a second to pull this up here, and we will watch this here together real quick. Keith Simmons, what's up, Keith? Hey, family, is it possible that Zach is setting the league up for an explosion and maybe not showing their hand with play action to use it down the stretch? We saw some of it last game. You know, not a whole lot, of course. But yeah, you make a great point, man. Hey, he might be holding his cards tight to his vest, man. You never know. Atlanta Falcons fan Demon says it's just too much money involved for us to deal Kirk. Yes, yep. That's kind of what I was saying just a moment ago. But it makes all the sense in the world to keep Kirk. Yep, exactly, bro. Like you said it perfect. We got a first year starter quarterback. I knock on wood, but if we have to go back to Kirk, hey man, you got a starter level type backup. So, you don't want your team to be in that position of paying to back up all that money, but it's a great backup plan if we do have to go back to him. So that's a great comment there. See, Hannibal says if Raheem can't get it done and doesn't work out, I think the Falcons should still keep Terry Fontenot. Thoughts? I gotta keep it funky, Hannibal. I'm crossing my fingers here, but if this team don't get into the playoffs, we end up with a losing record. I think you gotta let them both go, man. But I mean, I get what you're saying because these last two drafts, Terry has done so well. You finally see, okay. I see this talent on this team. And, Terry okay with me. I'm not the biggest Terry fan, and I'm definitely not a big Terry hater either. So he's okay. But dang, man, I'm gonna be honest, Hannibal, bro. It would be hard for a general manager in the NFL who's never been a general manager before to have his first 5 seasons as a general manager all be losing seasons, no playoff appearances, of course, and he has the opportunity to get 3 different head coaches. That's asking a lot, bro. That is asking a lot. It may just be one of them situations where Terry started to break through with the talent that could possibly win the Falcons Super Bowl 2, 3, 4, 5 years down the line. I just would find it difficult for Terry to survive if Raheem is gone, man. Again, 3 different head coaches, nothing but losing seasons. As that saying goes, the math just wouldn't be mathing with me. I can see the argument to keep him, but reality-wise, I don't see it, bro. I just do not see it, bro. But yeah, we're gonna watch a little bit of the game, y'all. Let's go past the kickoff team. Falcons get the ball to start the game. So let's see what we come out in with. Let's start this over a little bit here. Come out of y'all favorite formation, that pistol formation. Man, y'all should have saw me on social media these last 2 days. I actually feel like the Falcons coaches, they might need to start putting me on payroll. Because I sure be going to bat for these jokers, man. I sure been going to bat for these jokers. Even in the game where we win and we look good offensively, man. And it's funny because like last year, I was going to bat for Raheem all year because everybody wanted to fire him. And this year is like everybody want to fire Zach Robinson now. So now it's like the Raheem fire and calmed down for whatever reason. I don't know why. I don't know, but people ain't all on Raheem like they were last year. I mean, you still got some people that say he's a trash coach or whatever, and he needs to be gone. But it's not as intense this year with Raheem as it was last year. This year, everybody Zach Robinson, so I find myself, especially like on Twitter and Facebook, because that's really when I'm online, that's what I talk most of football at. I just find myself just having to defend these guys. So yeah, Zach and Raheem, and y'all need to shoot me something, bro. You know what I'm saying? Y'all need to shoot me something, bro. Cause and it for you all who watch the channel enough, y'all know. I'm sure y'all done figured out by now. I'm like, when it comes to accountability, more times than not, I'm gonna hold the players accountable more than I hold coaches accountable. Reason being because I think the players dictate the game more than the coaches do. I feel like the players play and the coaches coach. I feel like when you got great players, then you bring in very good, or great coaching to complement the great players, and you're gonna have a beautiful marriage. I don't feel like a quote unquote great coach could come in and take a bad roster and do big things with them. I don't feel that way. But I do feel like great players with a so-called bad or mediocre coach can come in and still do big things because of the talent. So I'm personally one of the people who normally will point most of the blame towards the actual players. Outside of now, we'll give y'all a recent exception. The Georgia game, they lost to Alabama. I'll point the finger at Kirby Smart and Mike Bobo on that one. I think they didn't put their team in position to win the game late. And I know y'all ain't hear about Georgia football. I won't try to dig too much into it, but I felt like not going for the points when you had the field goal, and then the last two critical plays when Georgia had the football, you put the ball in the hand of like your fourth, fifth string running back. Like, what are you doing? Anyway, let's get back to. I don't even want to get to that Georgia game because I don't know. Kirby just he's I don't know. I think Bama just getting his head. If it weren't for Bama, man, Kirby Smart had like 5 national titles at Georgia already. If it weren't for Bama, Kirby Smart would have like 5 national titles. Bama, always who's standing his way and standing our way. But that is what it is, man. But we got first down right here in that pistol formation. Good run, good blocking. We want to watch all the plays, Now, this is a play I didn't like. Although it may have been blocked well. Let's see what happens if Ray catches this ball. Because I think we ran this same play last week, but we had Ray blocking. And this week, it looks like they got Ray catching the ball. Let's see here. He catches. Oh, man, if he catches that. Ooh. This guy might not get blocked. We probably pick up 5 or 6 yards. Because Kyle got his guy sealed. Drake London got his guy sealed. It's probably 5 or 6 yard game. But we'll never know. We'll never know. Yeah, it really just going to be this guy. I don't know. I don't know what kind of impact he would have made. But I still feel like we'd have picked up 5 or 6 yards. But again, we'll never know. All right, we in the gun. Motion. Is that Bijan coming in motion, or is that Drake? I think that's Drake. Oh, man, that's a pretty pocket, boy. That's a lot of time. Boy, them boy blocking. That's a lot of time. Great pass. Great pass. Not a difficult pass to make, but that's how you want your young quarterback to do. Stand in that pocket. You got plenty of time. Don't rush now. You see your guy about to break open that zone, deliver good football to him. I love that. Let's see what y'all boy Elijah Wilkinson do on this play. Nice base. Nice base. Use your hand. Okay, go ahead and drift them on out there. That's a good job. Good job by both tackles, actually. And then the interior offensive line did a good job also making sure that they didn't break in the line of pressure coming through the middle. Hey, man, that's textbook. That's textbook. That is textbook right there. That is textbook. Textbook pass, textbook blocking. Look at it from this angle. See you guy right here. They're not allowing anything to come up the middle. And Penix is confident he's gonna have the time. And it's just a matter of hey, just getting the ball there. Bam. Easy. So this is obviously gonna be first down. It's gonna be another running play. And we gotta worry about that. We'll go by the running play. Boy, that boy Bijan with no stopping cuts. Goodness. Oh. Bijan can stop at a dime, bro. Little dude grabbing for air. Then another nice cut to pick up an extra, about 3 yards. I'm guessing this is what we're probably about 2nd and 5 right now. Still in the pistol formation. I'm telling y'all, so many fans have a problem with the pistol. And I don't. With me, as long as we are producing with something, whether that be on offense or defense, I don't have a problem with it. As long as it's working and it's being productive, I don't have a problem with it. And that's a great run by Bijan. Especially last year when we had Kirk in that pistol, man. Before Kirk got hurt, shit. Well, Kirk had that offense humming in that pistol. We put up 30 points a game like it wasn't nothing. Got to hold on to that ball, Bijan. Going back to them bad rookie habits. We got lucky that Penix was watching the play. He was able to get right there on the ball. We got lucky. All right, let's see what we got right here. Oh, it look like Bijan open right here. I think we throw the ball to him and the ball falls short, if I remember right. But we got to complete this. I think this is the play when he got thrown short. Yeah, well, I don't know how we don't complete this pass. I mean, I don't know how we don't complete that pass right there. Like, did we get pressure? What happened? And they ain't blitzing nobody. Ooh, at this point, you need to be cocking back, getting ready to let this thing go. At this point now, you should have been your throwing motion. Because he wide open right now. I wonder at this point, it's a touchdown, even if he threw it right now. I wonder if Penix just did not see him until it was too late. Let's look at it this angle. Like, what took us so long? Look like he looking in that direction. Oh no, I'm guessing he might have just saw him too late on that play, but that's a pass we got to complete. Probably one of the very few passes that Penix was able to complete Sunday that he should have completed. I don't know how we don't complete that pass. I mean, gee willikers. I don't know how we don't complete that one. But let's keep going. I think that might have been third down, actually. Yep. I remember us having a kick. I remember being pissed off watching the game live when that happened. But we didn't hit our guy. Okay, we'll just watch the offense, y'all. I think the defense has been consistent enough. We ain't got to pay them a whole lot of attention just yet. You know, even though they let them run for about 150 yards on us Sunday, you know, we still ain't too concerned about them just yet. All right, so we got the ball back, 1st and 10. Back in the old faithful pistol once again. I noticed we sent a lot of motion this game. Last game we tried to run this play with not Bijan, but Tyler. This week we ran it with Bijan. And this is more of a play that fits Bijan's style. Get him outside the tackles, toss sweep, and just try to put him in open space. Also, I do love. Now, I will say this about the coaching. This game, in comparison to the Carolina game, is we came out early running the ball, trying to establish the run. You know, came out early running the ball, and I like that. Like I said earlier, I really think that's the keys to success for Atlanta at this point. Until you get Penix where you want him at, where he's ready to take the keys to the car, which I don't think he's there yet. And he may not get there this year. You know, you may not see that to next year or somewhere along the following year, 2027. What happened on that play? All right, we're in a shotgun. Obvious pass play. Oh boy, Elijah Wilkins holding his own over there this game for real. Your boy Elijah Wilkins over here on his right side, y'all. We'll look at it from the other angle. There you go. They might could have called a hands to the face, but they didn't, so we'll take it. And I'm starting to see, too, as he's playing more games, that they're not sending the running back over to the chip as often, and they're also not just putting the tight end over there to help him out as much as they did in the first 2 games that he started. At least that's what I'm noticing here early. Look how quick Bijan cut and just get in the hole. Although it wasn't a big gain, he turned a 1 or 2 yard gain into about a 4 or 5 yard gain. And again, we are still running the football. We ain't giving up on the run game, and that's what I love to see. There go that play action somebody was asking about. What a great throw, man. What a great throw. And see, this is This excellent throw. This is what we did not see last week. This is what we didn't see last week. And this is the difference between us putting up 30-plus points on offense and having a goose egg against Carolina. Quarterback play. This Penix was like an 8-year veteran who's been to 5 Pro Bowls and at least 1 All-Pro appearance right here. Put the ball exactly where it had to go. Play action. Getting the linebackers on their toes. Feet plant. Let it go. And this is that is such a pinpoint and accurate throw. And last game against Carolina, he could not make these throws. I don't know if he had got into his own head. I can't tell you what the issue was. Only he knows. But he was not making these throws last week is what I'm trying to say. And we saw the after effects of it, by us getting blew out like we did. That's such a great throw. Sent Drake in motion too. And found him across the middle. Look at that throw. Look at that. And that's a great catch by Drake London too. But man, that is such a great throw. Such a great throw. He got it up high, but not too high. He know, hey man, my receiver, he pretty tall. Former basketball standout. He can go up and get this thing. You can see this guy here frustrated too. Like, God damn, that was a good ass throw. It was. So great play there by Penix, man. Back in our pistol. 3 wide receiver set. That Ray in motion? All right, we'll go by these running plays. I'm really just concerned on how our QB looked at this point right now. I actually like that play design. Kind of give Tyler a little momentum before you hand it off to him. Say him like in a little scoop motion toward the hole. That was a good job of making something out of almost nothing there too by Tyler last year. So we're just running the ball on this drive. Not letting Washington take us out of our element of the things that we want to do early in the football game. Stuck to our running game. Even though it wasn't necessarily popping, we were picking up some good runs, but it went popping like it, eventually started. Now we bring in Bijan in motion. Little misdirection. I don't know what the hell this was. Now, for everybody who talked shit on Zach Robinson on this one, I just had to shit up. I couldn't say nothing. I just had to shit the hell up. I couldn't say nothing about that. This play, I couldn't even come to Zach's defense on this one. I don't know what the fuck this was. But I think this was first down, if memory serves me correctly. I don't know what possessed us to try this. Like, what is this? This is something that my high school football team do. I don't know why we felt like this was a good time to call this play, and we were doing a very good job driving the ball downfield until this point. Like, what are we doing right here? Why? I don't understand this play call. Like, Zach, what are we doing here, bro? And why are we doing it? I guess they felt like, yeah, we'll send Bijan in motion, try to get the defense to follow him all the way over here, And then we run in reverse right here with Ray, and he take it to the house. But come on, bro. They are not fooled off this dumb shit. This shit take too long. And then they got so much penetration right here. They really blew the play up right here. I couldn't defend you on this one, Zach. This is just this chicken shit right here. I don't know why you call this play. Terrible. Good job getting that ball out fast. That Drake in a slider, was he split out wide? Oh no, that's Pitts in the slot. And see, Drake did a great job also getting off this press coverage too. And getting himself in position to make this catch. Cornerback try to press him, but he just get right off of him. Move out the way. That's exactly what you want right there. Good positive yards. Great pickup. So we're seeing right now such a difference between Penix this game and Michael Penix the Panthers game. You already see the confidence is there in this game. And I'm sure that, his competitive nature, started to drive him. Like, ain't no way in the hell I'm finna play that bad again. I'm about to show these people I belong. I'm the starter for a reason. Another good pass. And now he's starting to Penix is starting to get in the rhythm. That's a good hesitation route too by Bijan. And he got such a quick cut. And time he cut, he put that ball right there. That's a great pass. Great pass, great route. Yeah, like we sending motion on damn near every play this game. Sending motion, man. All right, back in the pistol in the red zone. Let's see what we're gonna do. There's something the whole world was criticizing us back about last week. Motion once again. Quick hand off Bijan. I'm talking about Bijan would turn nothing into something in a heartbeat, bro. This dude is talented with his football. Like, he got some of them, as far as just quickness, quick feet. Got some of the quickest feet that I done seen, man, from a running back. I'm talking about I'm not saying speed. I'm just talking about agility, quick feet, how quick you're on your feet. I'm talking about Barry Sanders, Marshall Faulk, like those type of just quick feet. Great play. Read the defense and threw a strike. Great quarterback play. Like we had just said, Penix was getting his rhythm. Figuring out what the defense gonna do. And see, Bijan has been running this route damn near the entire drive. So right off the snap of the ball, this guy comes from here He's gonna have to follow Bijan. You know, obviously he's keying in on Bijan, which enables Drake to run this quick comeback route, easy touchdown. You know, they've been sending him up all drive, like just throwing this here out to Bijan, and brought Drake right inside. Good call. Good execution. Good execution. Great execution. And that worked, you know, again, largely in part for the routes that Bijan had already been running. The receiving threat he is out in the backfield, and the fact that he had already caught some passes for nice gains. Now they got to focus on it. And we're going to see Bijan later on in the game do something else similar. All right, so let's go here. Fast forward this thing a little bit. So let's go back. Is this the kickoff return where I think our guy got hurt? I think it is. All right, so first down, we back in the pistol. That goes some play action, and I think there's another play where we try play action, and this is the play where they kind of folded Michael Penix up, and I'm guessing this might have made Zach Robinson a little bit weary about continuing to call play action going forward. Because if memory serves me correctly, that's really the only time that they got some serious pressure on Penix is when we tried to do the play action. So this guy right here, looks like he's coming through unblocked from the attack point. I actually thought that was hands to the helmet too that they didn't call. Yeah, they probably threw that play out right now. I don't remember where this ball went, but it looked like we got Pitts right here flashing open. Oh, I remember where we went now. This was that deep pass. Perfect pass, y'all. Perfect pass. Perfect pass, y'all. Perfect pass. Showcasing that arm. What a fucking throw. And one thing that really stands out to me on this play is Penix trusting his offensive line and also being patient enough to let Drake finish off his route. Because as y'all see, I'm sitting here saying, oh, Pitts is open, but Penix is like, no, Drake is going to beat this guy. Man coverage. I just got to be patient. I got to wait. There we go. And we got it. Big, huge game. What a play. This is great quarterback play we're watching, y'all. When your quarterback start playing this well, the offense feeds into that. You start moving the ball, you start putting up points, and all them woes that we had in the red zone, they alleviate themselves, them problems solve themselves because your quarterback is playing so well. And this is why they make the big bucks. Let's see what our boy Elijah Wilkinson do this play. Obviously, he held his own because the pass protection didn't break down. Good play. There you go. Look at that patience. I'm going to wait on him to finish his route, and I'm going to throw it off. Look how accurate that ball is, man. Oh, my God. Boy. Woo-wee. Man. Look how accurate that ball. Penix got a fucking cannon, man. And look at the accuracy of this ball. He put this thing on a rope, bro. Look at this. I mean, he caught Drake right in stride. Oh, my Lord. Boy. What a fucking throw, man. I don't know where this guy was at the Carolina game, but I'm so glad he came to the Washington game. Okay, so the Commanders are obviously expecting a run play right here. They're bringing everybody up on the line, first down. And naturally, we're going to run on first down. We've been doing it all game. But the thing about it, you're going to have to stop us. Which they did on that play, so I give them credit. But hell, they had damn near 10 or 11 in the box. You should have made that damn play. Now, for some of you who may want some play action, this would have been the play to do it right here because they had everybody up there. But we stuck to what we knew best. I ain't mad about it. Kyle Pitts in motion. Yeah, we just throw that one away. We got pressure in our face. Good job, kid. Live to fight another day. Okay, they blitzing. Let's see how we react to the blitz. What we do. Good job, Bijan. Pick up the blitz, man. Give us a little more time. Get our feet set. Another fucking perfect strike, bro. And Penix knew, okay, I'm about to get hit, but I gotta get this ball open. I gotta hit my receiver here. I'm about to take a hit, And this is what you like to see from your young quarterback. When that pressure coming, you're going to hold your nuts or you're going to fold, son. And he just threw a perfect strike. Goodness. I'm talking about a perfect strike. I think this is the backer who come with the blitz. Yeah, he's showing it now. Oh, they both came. They're a little stunt. Trying to confuse my quarterback. Good job, Bijan. You gave him just enough time to get that ball loose, and he threw another strike. See, Penix dealing. He dealing right now. He carrying over that momentum from the previous drive to this drive. He in rhythm. That self-confidence that I did not see against that in the Panthers game, I see it here. And Bijan, he just turned into a Superman on this run. Goodness gracious, son. The hell you got? How the hell you got an end zone with that? Goodness. A hell of a run. And so we threw the ball on the other side when the field was flipped. It was similar play to Drake. Man, it's a good ass run, bro. Good shit. Oh yeah, we'll look at another drive or two. Then we're gonna get ready to get out of here. Get back to the offense. There we go. All right, first and 10 in that pistol. Probably going to get a run play here. Especially if they send motion. Guess I'm maybe off tackle. Let's see. Well, off tackle, but off the other tackle. No gain. I actually might have lost a yard or two on that one. Plenty of time. And this is a good run out to the catch by Pitts right here too. I actually thought Kyle was going to stay in bounds when he caught this ball. Well, that's a good hesitation route. He, Kyle stayed in and did like a little fake block and went out in coverage. Matched up against his linebacker, which he should win 9 out of 10 times. That's a good play design, good play call. Watch Kyle Pitts right here. How he play like he stays in, blocks for like a half a second to a second, and just finds his way out here. Ends up matched up on the linebacker. I like this play. I'm sure we shall see it again. Hold on, who said Aries Falcon? Don't get too excited. I need to see consistency out of it. Hey, I'm right there with you. I'm with you. I'm right there with you. I can't lie. This game made me very excited and very happy. I can't front. But you make valid points, bro. You got to see consistency out of Penix. But I was very happy to see him bounce back this game, man. Very happy. I love this route. We'll see that one again. We'll definitely see that one again. And so far this year, man, Kyle Pitts has just been he's been a lot more engaged, a lot more assertive. Like I say, I don't know what his workout regimen was this all season, but he looks like he's in better shape. Not saying that he wasn't already in good shape, but I don't know, man. He just, as y'all have told me, it is a contract season or contract year, but I'm liking what I see from our tight end there. I sure thought he was going to stay in bounds, man. But we set motion the entire game. Toss sweep. We won't be too concerned with no toss sweep plays. We're going to go by that. Right here. I don't know if he had pressure, but he had somebody open on that out route. I think that was Ray. No, it might have been Bijan. Let's go back. Even though he threw a great ball here to Darnell Mooney, which watching the game, I thought Mooney should have brought in. It was kind of it wasn't an easy catch, but he put it right in the bread basket. Who is this right here? Is this Bijan? You can definitely go here with the football. Definitely got him. But, hey, quarterback in rhythm, so I ain't mad at him. I mean, because you still got your guy for a bigger game. You put the ball right there. Hey, Mooney, he bypassed somebody to throw you that ball, brother. You got to bring that in. You got to bring that in. I don't know if the defender made a play or what, but we need you to catch that. I'm loving to see when Penix on the run, man. he just throw the ball without like any real effort. Oh yeah, you got to hold on to that ball, bro. You got to hold on to that ball. All that bobbling and shit, no, bro. That's a fucking perfect pass. Come on, man. Come on, Darnell. And you know it too. That's why you're on that ground cussing. Man, threw you a perfect strike. Goodness. I didn't know it was like that when I seen it. Oh, so somebody said I'm muted. Am I muted, y'all? Can y'all hear me? I didn't know I was muted. Am I muted? Am I muted? Am I muted, y'all? Somebody let me know if you can hear me. Atlanta Falcons fan neighbors' Penix show last season in the final 4 games. He's ready. Was made for this made for the office, and that's why we drafted him in the first round. I could definitely see it, bro. You see the potential. Right here watching this tape, you see the potential, man. I mean, his arm talent is jumping everywhere on this tape. Okay. All right. Thank y'all. All right. Appreciate it, y'all. Say okay, good. All right, we may watch 1 or 2 more drives in. I'm gonna let y'all get out of here, man. This is just a great quarterback exhibition by Michael Penix Jr. Man, I could not be any more happy of what I'm seeing here from him. I keep saying this, but this is how you bounce back when you have a bad game. There was that play action y'all been talking about. Let's see what we do with it. I ain't mad at that one. Did we have anybody else maybe breaking open though? I mean, I'm not mad at the throw. I think this is probably 3rd down at this point. Play action. Oh man, who would that got beat right here? You done messed up the whole play, dude. We got to throw early because you got beat. That Bergeron over there got beat with a swim move and messed the whole play up. Goodness, son. We probably have something. You don't let the man swim past you. Whoop. Went right by that. Bro, that's too easy, man. Come on, dog. Gotta give us more. You gotta give us more than that. Gotta give us more than that. Yeah, there's Bergeron that got swimmed by. Like, come on, dude. We had to throw the ball early because of your ass, and we got him wide open right here. Gotta give us more than that. Gotta give us more than that. Now that's better protection, and we got our guy wide open. And Drake did a great job of picking up extra yards after this catch too. He get him about 6, maybe 7 more yards after the catch. Bro, as long as we keep Penix protected, as long as our offensive line is doing their job, bro. Well, our offense, man, with Penix at the helm, we're gonna be dangerous. Was this 3rd and 1, I think? Yeah, 3rd and 1. I think this is this the oh, I thought this was the 4th and 2 that Tyler Algier converted, but evidently this is not it. Absolutely nothing there. Oh, this is when we just let the clock run out. I remember this now. Right before halftime. So let's, we'll probably look at the drive right after halftime. I think Washington came out and scored. Let's go back. Oh, this is the long Bijan pass. Yeah, let's definitely go back and watch this. Great throw. Bijan, you gotta score on this play, brother. You gotta score on this play, Bijan. At this point, you gotta fit. It's easy for me to say from a goddamn microphone, but I'm just saying, from this point, you gotta just eat this right here up. This is just a foot race at this point. The whole angle part of this is over. Now it's all about, do you have another gear? Do you have breakaway speed? Boy, Bijan, you gotta eat that up, bro. You cannot let this man get you right here, which he does get you. That's when you gotta take it to the house. And Bijan admitted it after the game too. He said he know his teammates gonna find him because he got walked down, but you gotta finish this, brother. And I know we asked you to do a lot on the team, but boy, this is one of the ones, bro. You just gotta finish, bro. You gotta finish. This is when that next gear or that breakaway speed supposed to come to play, which unfortunately it didn't. And I really wished it did. But yeah, we have to get this one to the crib right here. We got to take this one to the house, Bijan. Because technically, at this point, you're like a half a step in front of him. And that bear jumped on our back. And he got us. Oh, man. I thought for sure Bijan was gone when I seen this. I'm thinking, I wonder if Penix called this play. I see they're doing a lot of communication. If he called this out the huddle. Perfect pass. We need to get them 6 right there, buddy. Gotta get them in there. There go that play action though. That we gotta know what Kyle Pitts. And they show bid on that play action. Again, Kyle Pitts with the hesitation route to sell the play action, get him sucked in and out of position. And now he beat. He beat. That's an excellent play design right here. Excellent play design. The guy that we wanted to fool, we fooled. This is textbook right here. This is how you do it. See, he lost right now. He went for the fake. He out of position. Kyle done started his route. And now at this point, he probably cussing. But he know he out of position. And ain't nothing he can do to get back in now. Easy 6 points. Got it. All right, gang. I guess we'll stop at that point, man. But hey. Winston says, this play only works because Pitts has developed as a blocker. That's a great point. And, bro, that's something that we said earlier in the show, that Pitts has I'm not going to sit here and say that he's become a great blocking tight end. But as you're saying right here, Winston, he has developed as a blocker, so that's something else that he has added to his toolbox. And then, of course, Bijan, he's established himself as one of the top running backs. So you gonna pay attention to him. And Kyle did a great job selling the block. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, to get out there and run your route. You got the guy that was supposed to be on Kyle Pitts who failed for the fake, and as they say, the rest is history. But that was just a great exhibition, man, of offense, quarterback play, and that's what we want to see, man. That's what makes us as fans even more confident in our team, especially our quarterback. Not saying that we wasn't before, but the more you see it reiterated from gameplay, the more you tend to buy in, and that's what we want to see. Just continue to get better each and every week. Atlanta Falcons fan says, y'all saying the same thing. I just knew Bijan was going to outrun him. I was already standing up with my team. Cowboy, me and you both, bro. Yeah, I don't know. I think Bijan's still young enough where he can kind of work on his breakaway speed or his top, that second gear. Well, really that fourth gear in that case. Because and I hate to bring up a guy like Julio, but because Julio was such a different specimen. Naturally Julio had better 4.3 speed, and I'm only using Julio because I saw this a good bit with Julio because he was here for so long. But when it was time for Julio to give you that extra gear, that breakaway gear, you could see it with Julio, and that's something Bijan may never have, and that's okay. He's still best running back in the league, even without it. But you just would love to see him add that to his arsenal. And I don't know if he's gonna do some parachutes in the off season, but Bijan is the type of player that's something that when the season is over, he'll get with his trainer or his trainers, to see if that's something that he can add to his toolbox. But he definitely should have took that one to the house. Hannibal Black says, strong channel, bro. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate that very, very much. Appreciate it very much. And thanks for staying through the stream, Hannibal, man, and the interaction and the engagement, bro. I do appreciate that. What says I missed it? I was updating the phone. My Facebook commented won't go through. Are you talking about that Bijan touchdown? This said I want to Bijan to zigzag, so I sure wanted him to score. That'd have been a good long touchdown. That'd have been about 80 yards, man. But yeah, I'm gonna let y'all get out of here, man. It's almost been about 2.5 hours. Just wanted to, go back and just look at what a great job our quarterback did. Because I know me especially, I try not to be too critical because Penix was he's still learning, and I've said that at least 8 or 9 times just on this stream alone. He's still learning, but as I told y'all earlier before, with me as a fan, my analytics, I tend to point the finger at the players before I'm going to point the fingers at the coach. And with that said, as bad as Penix was in the Carolina game, I wasn't going to pull no punches. I was going to come in here and tell you, hey, man, major reason we lost because our quarterback was so terrible. But it was great to see him bounce back and just show us, show his teammates, show this Falcons fan base, show the rest of the NFL, hey, this is why they took me at 8th overall right after they gave Kirk all that money, because they know I'm that guy, and this is going to be my team. This is going to be my stadium. This is going to be, in a sense, my city for the next 10 years. And I intend to bring a Super Bowl or 2 or 3 here to the Falcons fan base. But it was just great to see Penix bounce back, see the offense bounce back, and just see us execute, because that was a big part of this offense, putting up about 450 total yards and 30-plus points. Buffalo Bills, I think, is Monday night. If memory serves me correctly, I think this October 13th. It'll be a big game. So let's see how we respond to that. Hey, but I appreciate that, y'all, tonight. Thanks for everybody that came in. Thanks for everybody who was in chat, everybody that's watching on YouTube, everybody that's watching on Twitter, and also the replay game that'll watch this after we gone. Peace out. Y'all be good. Later. out.